Good evening, all. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, the 9th of May, 2024, just around 6:05 p.m. Central Time. Well, interesting day. I want to start off with the news today, and then we'll take it to the next step. For the morning, you're going to get the University of Michigan's preliminary May consumer sentiment indices. I wish they would have done it now. Everybody's going to feel better with the stock market rally today. U.S. Treasury Department will release April's 2024 outlays and receipts data. Minneapolis Fed President Kashari and Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee will participate in Economic Club of Minnesota chat, I understand. I think that's the one Steve Leisman is going to be at. He'll be hosting that. And today, I put this at the bottom because this is old news, but it's important. And Bloomberg made a point of it late today. Initial applications for U.S. unemployment rose today by 22,000 to 231. They were looking for a 6,000 increase, not 22. There's one catch that I didn't see, and I don't understand it completely. Bloomberg says the bump coincides with the recess in New York public schools, all the teachers and so on. So I don't know what that means, all right? But I think what they're alluding to could be that it was bumped up and it was an artificial bump. I don't know. What you know and what I know is pretty simple. The stock market rallied sharply. It's back to bad news is good news because it means the Fed will cut interest rates. That's the only explanation for it. The market was all enamored today. If you were watching news anywhere, with the Trump trial and Stormy Daniels taking the stand in her cross-examination. The situation in Israel got little, if any, press. I did send out a special update to all of my subscribers explaining the situation, that the talks had collapsed, that the Biden administration stopped sending bombs. And in all fairness to the Biden administration, you hear that they're not going to send weapons. The weapons they don't want to send are ones of destruction, not weapons of defense. There's a difference between the two. It still is, as I wrote in my report today, this is now President Biden's Vietnam War. He can't come out of it in good shape. He blew it when we ran out of Afghanistan, and now it looks to the world like you can't trust America because they're going to tell you what you can and can't do to defend yourself. It's a no-win proposition for him. I don't know what small elite group he's playing to, but it's a terrible decision on his part. In any case, Israel is now moving its armors, it's got the tanks, it's got the personnel. I'm sure we will wake up every day to they're going further and further in the Rafah. The good news, and there is good news, supposedly, I forgot if it was Reuters or I think it is Reuters, that said some 80,000 people had left the area where the pamphlets were dropped. Now that still leaves plenty there. And what we don't want to wake up every day to is what we did when the incursion began earlier, months ago, where there's 10,000, 5,000, 3,000, whatever, dead. But it's going to happen, unfortunately, because Israel's going in for the kill now on those brigades. And I don't want to really talk about this more than we have to, but today was a big day for that. So when they say now the talks are ongoing, talks are always ongoing if the other side wants to cave in. If you read the Arab newspapers, and I did today, it's the flip-flop. Israel doesn't want to give in. They don't want to pull out. And therefore, Hamas has no choice but to stand their ground. They swear to you this is what's being said. And, of course, the other side is true. And there's never mention of the October killing that they did in the Arab newspapers. It's always Hamas is the ones being pressed. Okay, everybody's got a perspective. When we look at the gold market, the reason I put out the update was I told my clients in it, this is bullish on gold, the energy markets, bonds, and notes. The event that the peace treaty talks had broken down. Gold did rally. You've had a big one. You're up nearly 2% for the month. The market is now stepping out of this ladder that we had. And with the action, you've now changed the trend. Now you have higher lows, higher highs. You didn't have that just 48 hours ago. Now the market is looking here at the 18-day average is the area that I would expect that we're going to see buying take place at on breaks. Probably stops under the most recent low of 2311.40. Objective will be something in the 2400 level if the market can make a run back into these old highs and momentum turning up. That's what I'm pretty well expecting in the market. What's led the way in the metals has been silver, not gold. And I have been pointing that out every day to you. You're now coming into the old lows of 82, and silver was up dramatically today. Higher lows, higher highs. It is overbought. So between here and the upper Bollinger Band of 29.15 or so, that's where I'm expecting the resistance to come into the market. Doesn't mean it has to get there, but it's what I expect. I don't know that you have to go much lower in the copper market. If you do and you get under 450.50, I would lose my near-term bullishness. Until that occurs, I think the trade's going to be an aggressive buyer in the 454 zone, stops under that level, still looking for the 467 zone to come up. Now, we are going to get this weekend some CPI numbers out of China. They come out typically on Saturday for us. We see them, the difference in the times. Keep your eye on them. It'll give us an idea. Is the copper market going to go up, down, sideways, gold market, so on and so forth? Very important to keep your eye on. In the platinum, I told you that I didn't expect the rally the day before. And if it did rally, that maybe we'd get to the Bollinger Band. I think I've done my job. You got up to that band, and that's where the near-term resistance is. The dollar turned down today. So you had an outside day down, which means at this point, you have lower highs, lower lows. You're caught in sideways action. I don't think you're going anywhere for a while. I think you're caught between 104.80 to 106.30, and you're going to whipsaw. An idea that there's no follow-through would be taking out the highs of today, Thursday, either on Friday or Monday. If the market continues down, then you probably go into that 104.80 level. Is the market oversold? No. Will we be able to get through the old low of 104.41? It's very possible, but I'll bet on the Bollinger Bands before it gets to do anything, and that's going to be important. And I'm going to discuss this again, the importance of those bands in a few minutes and what happened in stock indices today and for tomorrow. I think it's very, very important that we look at that. Now, I do want to remind you so much as to what we're offering in our free offers at iraepstein.com, and that's where you go. You can also click at any point up here. There'll be an icon. You can see the Spider ETF video. So you can sign up. You just hit the blue and you sign up for the offer. That's how it works. And you'll see at the end after you see all this. This is how it will look on your computer if you scroll up and down the page as well. And there's a host of different things that we offer, from our different versions of our charting software to many of the free courses. The word is free courses that I do teach. And as you're getting a feel for it, you're going to learn how to work with pivot points, the Arun indicator. Our price counts are something every trader should take a hard look at. We only make it available to our clients, but I think you will find it's very, very important. And of course, all the booklets we put together, here's that pivot point series. And these are free video series that I put together, so you can see how I teach. Price and time indicator called the Arun indicator. Our trial to the Linn research, we put out stories all day long. And I mean, it's a tremendous amount. If you like to get seasonal studies from the More research, we can get you hooked up with them. Technical indicators, volumes 1 and 2. And as you get to the bottom of all that, you complete this by putting in your name, your address, and it comes right to us. So I hope you take advantage of it. I'm Ira Epstein. Remember, iraepstein.com, free offers, or click up there. You take care.